Hey everybody, welcome back. Appreciate you joining me. This is a really good one. This is that round 5 match that I was telling you about. It's the only one that's played so far, and it is between two of the tournament favorites for sure. And this is lower bracket action. It's all lower bracket here in round 5, so this is an elimination match. It's going to be Tricking against Finch. Like I said, these are probably two of the tour favorites, two of the top 5 or 6 guys in the whole tournament. And this is a rough pairing, but I mean, we're in round 5, we're deep. A lot of players have already been eliminated. It's just going to be good pairings from here on out, and it's going to be pretty hard to not face someone very, very strong as of this stage of the tournament. We're starting out in clearly Finch's best gen. I think no one would dispute that Black White is where Finch is the strongest and the most comfortable. He's underrated in other gens. Finch is a versatile player, but clearly at the end of the day, Black and White is his bread and butter, and that's where we're starting. Tricking, on the other hand, I'm not sure what his best tier is of these three, possibly ADV, but don't underestimate him in any of these tiers, certainly including Black White. Is Finch the better Black Whiter? Almost certainly. That's his jam, but Tricking will definitely be able to hold his own here. And we do have a contrast of archetypes. We have Finch, who never ever leaves the house without Latios and Ferrothorn. He spams those two pokes. They're on every single team that he's ever had. Here they are again on a rain team from him. Tricking on the bottom on the alt, Fassa Bortolo has opted for a sand balance. Let's get to it. Here's game one of their best of three. Lando and Ferrothorn, respectively, as the leads. Immediate switch to his own Ferrothorn. Again, Fassa Bortolo is tricking on the bottom. We have rocks, we have knockoff, and we have spikes. Lefties got knocked off. And there is a knockoff there as well, also removing lefties from the Thundy. Substitute and Gyro Ball, despite being resisted, will be good enough to pop the sub. Hidden Power on the switch, presumably Ice, going to hit the Lati pretty hard, and that's going to prompt him out. He's going to go to Lando now. That's pretty ballsy, knowing that HP Ice just came down, but it turns out to be right, and he gets in on Ferrothorns, establishing rocks here, and now spikes for Finch. So both players have a layer of spikes, and they also have rocks. Earthquake and yet another knockoff. There go lefties from the Lando. There's Earthquake again. And there's a missed power whip from Finch. He may or may not live another Earthquake. 36 and 35 are what the last two did. And he's unable to predict this switch and go for the U-turn immediately. But I guess he doesn't lose too much doing that. He does have to eat one attack because he didn't do it before. And it's the Reunculus eating the HP Ice, but then eating a follow-up Thunder, which is really going to hurt. However, Psychic is going to get the first knockout of the game, favoring Tricking. So Politoed is going to come in. It's the first time either Weather Poke comes into play, and we've got ourselves some rain. He's going to go straight for the Scald, even boosted against the Rotom, 16%, who cares? And he does not find the burn. There is the Protect and the Volt Switch, respectively, lefties being gained by both Mons. Now Latios comes in. Like I said, Finch does not leave the house without Latios and Ferrothorn in Black-White. They're on every team that he's ever made in his entire life. And now T-Tar comes in to get rid of the rain and establish sand. Nevertheless, Surf is going to hurt quite a bit, and it's an over-prediction pursuit as opposed to Crunch, which is not going to get the job done. But Finch does not go for the kill with a follow-up Surf, surprisingly. I truly am surprised that he didn't do that there. He instead goes to Politoed, gets Rain going, and Ferrothorn comes in for Tricking at this time. Interesting that he goes for Protect there as well. It could have been a free layer of spikes had Ferrothorn gone for that, but Finch was correct in that it was going to be Power Whip, and he protected against that. It is a follow-up Power Whip. It is very underwhelming against the other Ferrothorn to 6%. That is real bad, and that's going to prompt a switch for Tricking into the Lando. Intimidate is whatever, but there are some spikes, giving Finch the hazard advantage, and he's going to opt to fodder off Lati. Finch does have the hazard advantage, but he does not have the poke advantage. He's actually down in his best tier of Black-White, 6-4, but only temporarily. A lot of stuff from Tricking is banged up, including the foddered off Mon there, the Reunculus, and now Latios, which is also banged up, comes in to do something before it dies. Turns out to be Dragon Pulse, as Finch also fodders, and now it is back to a 2-poke advantage at 5-3 for Tricking. There's Protect, And there is Dragon Pulse. Tentacruel doing its thing, enjoying the rain dish, enjoying the black sludge. He's going to have to eat that Dragon Pulse for 57%, but he does get a rapid spin off, and now he's going to try to protect and get more residual life gain back, survive a Lati Dragon Pulse, and hopefully kill that. But based on the damage roll last time, yeah, he's going to have to 50-50 protect here. He very well could have died had he not won that coin flip, but he does win the coin flip. Now he's going to survive the Dragon Pulse, and Scald is going to be good enough, even though it is resisted. So Finch catching up a little bit. It leaves us in a 4-3 situation. The banged up T-Tar comes in, but it's going to be good enough in this situation. Pursuit will get it done. Tenta goes down. We now have ourselves a 4-2, and now the sand is gone, being replaced by rain as the much healthier Politoad comes in. There's Pursuit. Protected against, Pursuit again, 18%, underwhelming. Scald, easy peasy kill here with the rain and the weakness. Leaves us in a 3-2 situation. There won't be any more sand. It's going to be raining for the rest of the battle. There's the Scald, whatever on the damage, but he finds a nice burn. However, Power Whip is going to find a crit. I guess fair is fair. They're both pretty banged up. Scald there is not going to get it done. Spikes also isn't going to get it done. Power Whip would have killed there, but he predicted it, protect, and went for Spikes. And that leaves us in a 2-2 situation. Lando looking to finish it off. There's Earthquake. So it's going to be Rotom and Lando against only Keldeo for Finch. Surf there is going to be good enough. There's the knockout. Leaves us in a one-on-one. Rotom versus Keldeo here for the game. Secret Sword a ton, but doesn't find the crit that he's hoping for. Pain Split should keep him out of Secret Sword range. Gonna go for it. Doesn't find the crit that he's looking for, and Volt Switch will be good enough. Tricking with the upset here, taking out Finch in his best tier. That's got to be tough for Finch. Finch has to feel very confident starting any series in his bread and butter black and white, but he's going to lose. And now he's going to have to, despite dropping his best tier, beat Tricking in both DPP and ADV in order to win here. Otherwise, he's going to be eliminated. See if he can do it. Hopefully, he can keep his composure after dropping the black-white game, which is uncharacteristic. A really close black-white game. One of the best black-white games of the tournament, in fact. Very close. But it doesn't go Finch's way. Can he make the comeback? Which tier does he want to play next? Looks like he has chosen to take us to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, DPP, Gen 4. He'll need this and a potential Game 3 of ADV in order to not be eliminated. Well, let's go one game at a time. Can Finch win this game? We're going to find out. Here we are in DPP, and we'll switch the sides for continuity, keeping Tricking on the alt, Fasa Bortolo on the bottom. And they are both going to lead with rock resists. However, only one of them actually sets up rocks. That is Swampert. So, Clefable comes in, Earth Power, no big deal. Finch with the early hazard advantage, but beyond that, nothing too exciting in the early stages of this battle. And now they both have hazards. Rocks for both players as T-Tar comes in for Finch. Rachi reappears, takes the neutral superpower for 41%. Opportunity here to U-turn out, get a wish going, whatever he needs to do. He's going to hard switch to Magnezone, actually. Doesn't U-turn to it, just switches to it. I'm not sure what he was trying to trap there. Perhaps he thought something like a Heatran was coming in or a Skarm was coming in to resist the U-turn, but neither of those things occurred. Instead, we have Clefable on Swampert here, Hydro Pump and Knockoff respectively, getting rid of Sash, and of course Soft Boiled happening here on the switch as T-Tower reappears. Stall team clearly from Tricking, with the Rachi Milotic Clefable going on. He brings in Milo, and it does not take the superpower all that well. 66% is a big chunk. However, Recover is going to offset quite a bit of that, which is what he does on the switch as Finch opts for his Lati. Did I mention he doesn't leave the house without it? So here's Magnezone, and here is Clefable, which becomes Clefable on T-Tar, as we saw before. There's the withdraw, there's the pursuit, hefty damage, 74%. Clef's got to be careful now. Rachi comes in, and Swampert, a lot of switching in the early stages of this battle. There's a wish that can potentially be passed to the Clef or the Milo, but he's going to instead opt to protect and keep it for himself. Earth Power comes down, Rachi's back to 100%. Here's Milo, doesn't overly care about the Earth Power, 21%, not that exciting. It can be another recover turn for Milo if he wishes. and that's what he does. And Finch goes for Magnezone, which both players have opted to bring. And there's lefties on the Magnezone from Finch. He's going to switch it back to Gliscor just to be safe, so they both actually have stallish teams going on here, which could lead us to a long game potentially. Swords Dance and Reflect, interesting. So going opposite ways here. One of them's boosting their attack quite a bit, one of them's boosting the team defense quite a bit. And there's an Ice Fang attempt aimed at the Lati. Instead, it will be resisted, even though it is a crit, against the incoming Milo. But there is a Thunder Fang for the crit, which is going to get the knockout through the Reflect. That is an unfortunate turn for tricking, and that's going to give Finch the lead now at 6-5. Gliscor is going to not get parried by Body Slam, and the assault continues as he attempts Earthquake. The Reflect may or may not pop this turn, and turns out, yes, it does. And now Latias comes in. That's going to come in on Earthquake, which is good, but we know there's an Ice Fang on the other side, so he's got to be careful of that. He switches to Magnezone thinking it will be an Ice Fang. He's correct, and 20% is what that's going to do. Explosion from the faster Magnezone is going to do a lot to Gliscor, but it will not kill it. And now we are back to the Lati. Ice Fang is going to do a ton on the 3%, and there is the Dragon Pulse. So quite a bit of sacrifice there for tricking to deal with that Pokemon. It was a huge issue for him. The Swords Dance 3 attack Gliscor. An unusual set, but man was it effective there. But nevertheless, Tricking finds a way to kill it. Can he come back now from this obviously unfavorable position of being down 3-5? Finch also still has an unrevealed in the back. There's Protect and Ice Beam respectively, protected against Poison, Heal activating, all that good stuff. Here's Rachi thinking another Ice Beam. He's right. Perhaps he will try to pass a wish somewhere or just keep it for himself, but he's going to start by protecting, getting a few more lefties. Why not? Swampert does not have lefties. He got his sash knocked off earlier, but Rachi doesn't survive the Earth Power, and that's going to prompt a concession from Tricking. This game does not go nearly as long as it looked like it potentially could have, and we are going to a third game, which is, of course, ADV, my favorite. And certainly the one that I know the most about and can narrate probably, hopefully, the best. So let's see how that goes. Game 3, either Finch or Tricking will be eliminated from this tournament on this ADV game. Let's see how it plays out right now. Switching sides, and once again, Fasa Bortolo is Tricking on the bottom for the final time against Finchinator on the top, and it is the two most common leads in the gen in Zapdos and Tyranitar, respectively. Baton Pass going to go to the Fighting Resist once he sees Focus Punch. It's an immediate crit from Finch, however, and now he's assaulting him with Hidden Power, so he's not banded. This is a terrible start for Tricking. That crit absolutely mattered, and he cannot catch a break with the full power either. He's just going to lose his Starmie with almost nothing to show for it. The only thing he could show for it is that he did get a power off on the T-Tar, and it is now insult to injury. Not only is Hydro Pump missing here, but we now know very soon after the Starmie, presumably the Rapid Spinner goes down, that there is a Spiker, the Scarm, on the other side. So this is an atrocious start for Tricking, and Hydro Pump misses again as insult to injury. This is just a disaster start for Tricking, and Finch is just already 8 turns in, super duper ahead in this decisive ADV game. Looking bog standard and boring for Finch. He's got the Scarm Bliss Tower combo, which has just been around forever and as generic as it gets. He's got a Starmie for a spinner. There's probably a Swampert in the back somewhere, and then we'll see what the X Pokemon is. Dugtrio, Aerodactyl, Metagross, Salamence, whatever it may be. Gengar, one of those. But Swampert and X in the back almost certainly for Finch. And we're looking at kind of a similar team for Tricking. I mean, just a balanced team here. He doesn't seem to have his own spikes. He finally catches some amount of hacks and a critical hit Focus Punch on the incoming Metagross, but man, is Tricking far behind. And those hacks completely negated here as an explosion comes down and takes out the Swampert. There's nothing Tricking could do. Nothing wanted to be blown up on there. But Swampert took one for the team. Finch with the 5-4 advantage. We have Bliss on Bliss. Opposing, that would be the Finchinator Bliss, goes for Wish. And T-Wave is the move here. Wish doesn't actually hit anything, but T-Tar comes in safely. He's still paralyzed from before. Rock Slide going to get off through the imperfect accuracy and the power. There's a good chance to miss there, but he doesn't. Soft-boiled from tricking, can't blame him. He's going to think a full para is going to come down at some point or a miss, and he's correct. There is the full para. So now Rock Slide comes. Are we going for counter here? Yep. Tricking went for counter on that turn, but he flinches. That's pretty unlucky. Now he's going to go Focus Punch. That's not going to get full parried, and now Blissey is dead. This is a pretty rough sequence once again for tricking. A lot of poor things happening here. Finch miles ahead at this point, and full team has been revealed for tricking as well, so there are no surprises. He's going to have to make something happen here. Full power is a good start, but he's going to need another one of those or a crit Thunderbolt here. Blissey comes in for Finch, which I think is wise. Why would you stick it out with T-Tower when you simply do not need to? And you have the Wish on the Bliss, so you can pass it to the T-Tower if you need to and get him healthy again. And here is the Rachi. Finch does in fact go for the Wish, and he also still hasn't shown his last poke, by the way. He's going to go to Skarm here, and there is the Calm Mind. Rachi has shown only the Calm Mind. We don't know if it is Fire Punch, Thunder, Thunderbolt, whatever it may be. We now see Thunder. Going to do a lot to the Skarm here, but he is going to get the Roar off despite being paralyzed. Thunderbolt, good enough. Down goes the Skarm. We've got ourselves a 4-3 now. Finch still in the lead, hasn't shown his last poke. He only did manage to get the one layer of spikes down, so I mean, I guess the loss of Starmie isn't the end of the world, but it certainly was not a good thing for tricking. And again, Bliss is trying to pass the Wish. Her recipient is going to be the T-Tower. T-Tower back up to a hundo. Now Zapdos coming in. It would have negated the Rock Slide damage, or at least some of it, with the Wish that it just got passed. But as it turns out, it was just an Earthquake. Thunderbolt and Rock Slide. Man, is that a lot of damage. 83%. Zapdos not in a good place. Gonna be looking for a critical hit here. Thunderbolt is going to connect with Bliss. Finch understands how to play this. Again, why risk the T-Tower when you don't need to? And you could simply pass a Wish to it, basically consequence-free. Finch is aware of that, and that's what he starts to do. Gonna go for the Wish here. Not a lot that can be done. Rock Slide there really would have benefited from a crit, but he does not find it. He certainly deserved it the way this game has gone, but deserved does not matter in Pokemon. The RNGesus does not smile on you. The crit does not come, and Finch definitely in a good position here, and he still hasn't even shown his last poke. Thunder connecting is crucial there. It gives tricking a glimmer of hope, but man, that Moltres is going to be very difficult to deal with at this point, especially with how low everything is from tricking. So he's going to go to Zapdos and hope that he's faster than Moltres here, and the sand says that he's not. The sand shows that the Moltres is buffeted first, and there is the concession. Nothing he can do. The Moltres is going to clean him up easily here. If the Zapdos were faster, I mean, it helps it with the Moltres, but it really doesn't get him out of this, I don't think. The Blissey still would have been a massive problem for tricking. The Zapdos was not going to break through it, and the Rachi wasn't so hot either. It's at 25%, and there's spikes down. I mean, maybe it can get a Wish off and do its thing, but I mean, how does the Rachi beat the Moltres? It would need to, like, land a Thunder crit or Thunder Para. I mean, I don't know. It was looking real bad for tricking. Finchinator definitely got off to a good start this game with the early sequence where the Starmie went down basically for nothing, and tricking was just never able to truly properly recover from it. So Finchinator is going to eliminate a very strong player in tricking. He had a decent tour going out in round 5. I mean, that's perfectly respectable. This is, like I said, a battle of two of the tournament favorites, but as with any other battle, only one of them can win. It's going to be Finch. Tricking's going to be out. If you guys enjoyed it, thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. It takes you half a second to do, but it makes a big difference for me. And a lot of time and effort does go into this tour and all these tours. So I would really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. Leave a comment if you'd like, and I will see you guys soon for more Permasand Invitational content. Thanks for watching.